And we are live, the JETSET podcast coming into you on another Wednesday night. We got a new kicker, and everybody's saying what I'm saying, he's a big boy, but hey, as long as he brings that big boy aura, I'm cool with it, man. So yeah, we're gonna talk about that tonight. And if y'all some Love Island fans, we can talk about that a little bit too. But yeah, lock in with us, man. Ready.
Ready,
Jet
jet
set,
set,
go.
Go, 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 go. No to the mall.
Loud going down the right side at the goal line, leaving a tap. Oh, it's free call. Oh, it's a jet
Never too
touchdown.
knows. Pack my bags and go, 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 go. Serve me a brick at the stove. Looking like a track in the post. Go, 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 go. From the hills to the moon. Yeah, baby, yeah, we go like don't go. Yeah, in this world, everything's so mold. Yeah, behind this wall, there is no photos. Jump on this bitch, go, yeah. Across my neck, yeah, go. Watch how you go, hey, yeah, Ocho. I need some more, hey, yeah, pronto, poncho. Jumped out the coupe with the
Away by Sauce Gardner.
smoking cookie in Atlanta, everywhere you were like recreation. You already know we made it. We ain't even gotta say shit. Some of the trap was lit, some of the trap was faking. Junior say I'll bring the pay out, bring the pay out.
What's up? What's up? We are back. It is your boy Brian, aka Tech Fight. Today, joining me each and every Wednesday, my dog Alan, aka NYJetsplanet, and we are back for another Jet Set episode. Make sure y'all like, subscribe. We got a new kicker. That's the big news this week. Alan, what's the vibes going into this week? How you feel about our new kicker, man?
You're a thick boy. Pause.
Oh,
But
oh, oh.
we was just talking about it last week. It's unprecedented. There's not a lot of bigger dudes as kicker. I still don't really know why. I don't really think you need to be like on the skinnier side to be a kicker. You don't really do much besides kick. I guess unless you're talking about kickoff. But like any sort of like actual field goal or field goal, extra point. Yeah, no, you don't really need to be skinnier. Like, you're not really running, you just kicking the ball. So as long as he makes the kicks, I don't really mind.
As long as he makes the kicks, I totally wholeheartedly agree with that. I mean, the kickers we've had over the years, kind of bland, kind of whatever. This kicker, with him being labeled the thicker kicker, pause. I don't know why that's the thing. How they made it like that with the
How do you get that name
with the 2 C's and everything? I'm like, why are there 2 C's here? But I guess that's just what he's labeled as. When you have a kicker like that, you definitely want to feel some aura. You definitely feel a little bit of the, you feel different, with a kicker like that. So yeah, no, I mean, hopefully, he just makes his kicks. He has a big leg, clearly, and damn turkey leg. But hey, I hope he's able to, do what he does and make some kicks, and
especially when it matters.
Especially when it matters, because that's the big thing, man. He's got to be able to step up exactly like when it matters. So hopefully he steps into a role, and he's like that. I'm hoping he's like that.
Yeah, and that's the thing about kickers. Like a lot of times, you see a lot of kickers. They all got talent. Like, I don't think you make it on an NFL roster unless you have a good kicking leg, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
But with that, it's can you make one game on the line? Let's say this is the game. We either go to overtime or we win the game, or let's say we're down by 2. We need you to kick it. Even if it's a 30-yard field goal, do I feel comfortable putting you in that position?
Yeah.
With younger guys, I always have a little bit of like, man, because you never know.
Mm-hmm.
But he was like, I just looking at his stats from the UFL, he did pretty damn good.
Yeah.
He did good at Missouri. He should have made the Panthers roster, but they have a kicker. We talked about that last week with Pinheiro.
Yeah.
And he was a standout UFL, so I think he's worth a shot, especially if he could win the job over Caden Davis.
Yeah. Yeah. Caden Davis was the rookie that we drafted, or the undrafted rookie that we have.
Yeah, free agent.
Yeah. So, like when you think about that, we have two young guys battling it out, not the worst situation to be in, but I just hope that, like you said, he carries over that success from the UFL to our team, and we kind of go from there. But I mean, I'm excited. I'm excited to have a new kicker in the building. A kicker that has a little bit of hype around him, but still has something to prove. Type of thing. So yeah. We have some kicker highlights. If you want to watch them, let's get into the first minute and a half clip of Harrison Mevis. Revis. Revis. Hey, he's the chosen one, man. You can tell. All right, so let's tap in.
Harrison Mevis to attempt it. He connected from 27 earlier. This is for 50 yards. Plenty of distance. How about the true freshman knocking that home from midfield? Well done. And 3 more on the board for the Tigers. 14-6 our tally.
Had it. Now LSU trying to run somebody off the field as they set up a 51-yard field goal try with a freshman kicker who's got a big leg, and he boots it right on through. Harrison Mevis, the true freshman, already had a 50-yarder last week.
Harrison Mevis. Got it! Wow! And we're tied up! Oh my! Mevis with a career long to send this one to overtime. That is a fired up sophomore kicker right there. 3 yards further than his longest field goal of the season, 56 yards. This guy is an absolute machine. He might be the best offensive weapon.
Okay. All right. So that was the first half of the highlights we have. But I mean, yeah, like look, seeing those kicks, some of those were to tie it up, to go into overtime. Some of those were to win the game. Some of those to put the game away. Those are things you like to see. How do you feel about that first highlight reel of Mevis, man?
Yeah, it's crazy. The first thing that comes to mind is like, because he went to Mizzou. I was like, wow, they must have really liked the Mizzou tape.
Yeah.
Because we have Brady Cook, we got Membu, and now we got the kicker. Like, it must have really just was going deep in that Mizzou tape, and I was like, we like what we see here.
Yeah.
Except for Burden, apparently.
Yeah, I
but
guess.
Nonetheless, it is interesting to see. Like I will say, it's good to see him making in those big moments. I know college is the same as NFL, but a lot of times the mindset is kind of the same, especially when you're talking about playing on the big stage. Like, we're not just talking about like small schools. Like, he's doing it at Tennessee.
Yeah.
Like, that's a big stadium, big environment. Like, college fans are crazy. So
yeah.
I will say, like, it does give a little extra props there. So yeah, it definitely gives you some hope. Definitely
Yeah, I like what I was seeing, and like you see his energy after a kick, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I really like, because our kickers in the past, they don't really get hype like that. It's no aura, right? It's no aura. So clearly, this guy, he has that about him. He has that moxie, about him. So I like what I see, with this kid. Here's one more video, about another minute, but let's maybe some more clutch kicks in here against better teams. So let's
trying to answer the Georgia 3, and Mevis boots it through. After a heartbreaking miss on a chip shot, the 5-yard attempt. Drives it. Got the distance. It's a heater, baby.
50-plus. He's made 9 of these in his career. And it curls in. The further back you push him, the better he is.
That's like what we saw earlier on a long field goal attempt by K-State.
And it is Brooks. Mevis kick on the way. It's good! There's a flag down. Missouri at the moment has walked it off, but there are flags all over the field.
Did you see old girl run on the field at the end? About to jump on.
I will say that last one was electric.
That was tough. That was tough. And so if he's got that in his bag, it's like okay. And don't let him make one of those in MetLife. Like the whole crowd, we might actually storm the field. You know?
Yeah.
Like,
bro, imagine that. Like,
yeah. I'm saying.
I think that we'd be the first NFL team to ever storm the field. Honestly, I could generally see if the Jets made the playoffs, I could see the fans going and just rushing the field.
Yeah, you might as well, and like everybody would just have to understand.
Yeah,
like that is where we're at right now in our lives as Jet fans. If we make the playoffs, you really can't blame us for whatever happens after that because it's been a long road,
a very long road.
Long road.
It's been what? Oh man, it's been like 14 years. Yeah,
14 years. It was supposed. I mean, I just actually saw a video earlier of the 2015 Week 17 game with Fitzpatrick and them, and how we were 10-5. Just need a win and we're in.
Yep.
We lost and Steelers got in. That was
that Bills game. Woo.
Yeah, Bills game.
With Fitzpatrick. Like I was like, come on, bro. If anyone could play in Buffalo, man.
That was bad. And like he threw like I think 3-4 picks that game too.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I just need more. I would have been happy with even if we would have got smoked first round of playoffs. I'd have lived with it.
Yeah. It would have been like this whole stat right now wouldn't have been a thing. It wouldn't have been that much pressure, but it's I mean it still would have been about 10 years, but dang, who knows what that would have started, but yeah, no, hopefully this guy hopefully Mavis steps in and steps up, man.
Yeah, Chris Banjo has his work cut out for him though. It's a lot of young guys. Like they replaced. I mean, obviously Glenn too, but just they replaced all the vets with younger players now. I think it puts a lot more pressure on a guy like Chris Banjo, who is his first real stint at being a special teams coach.
Yeah.
And now you don't really have like vets to really rely on anywhere. Like it's all just young punter, young kicker. A lot of your special teams is most likely going to be either rookies or first couple of years in the NFL. So I'm curious how that all comes together.
Yeah. Banjo definitely has his work cut out for him, but hopefully he can rally the troops, being a young guy himself, and get it going. But hey, if they need me out there,
yeah, I get.
I line up, man. But yeah, no, it should be cool though. It should be cool. But yeah. We it's kind of I feel like it's kind of the dead zone in the Jets off season. We're just kind of waiting for training camp to turn the corner. So yeah,
because we're it's June 18th today. We got about a month before like the guys are back there and we can actually see some more stuff and have some more stuff to report on. So we're kind of like in that waiting period of like, what do we do for the next month?
Yeah, it's to definitely a gray area. This kicker news is the big news of the week, and
Yeah,
that's
I
when
got
I
it.
should say something.
Yeah, it's like my whole phone blew up. Like I was like, it's crazy when you sign a kicker to compete with your undrafted free agent kicker, but that's just how the news is working right now. But
Yeah,
no,
yeah. Sign the kicker to compete with your undrafted free agent. Yeah, that's where we're at as fans
yeah.
right now. So hey,
I was hoping we got like that, like Jair Alexander news, something like that. Like I thought
yeah.
that would have been fun. Although I know we already signed Brandon Stevens, but nonetheless, something
I
like
don't
that
know.
just would have been a little fun.
I feel like Brandon Stevens, man. He might be a liability, man.
Yeah, everyone seems to be worried about him.
I'm very worried about him because it's like I don't hear anything about any type of plays or any type of like good
I
coverage.
do hear him getting cooked by Garrett. That's about it.
I mean, Garrett is Garrett, but it's
Yeah.
like I want to hear something like, oh yeah, Brent Stevens he had a good breakup, or on Josh Reynolds. Like I don't hear anything.
I honestly though, I genuinely do believe that he's gonna play that like kind of like fill in corner / safety role. Kind of like I can see Thomas stepping in
Mm,
day one. I don't know for sure. I think you kind of have Stevens just in case he can't be
yeah.
there day one. But I can see Thomas taking down that starting role and Stevens kind of moving to that strong safety role because I
Mm-hmm.
don't really feel comfortable with Tony Adams at strong safety. I know we have Malachi Moore,
Okay, more. Yep.
but Malachi Moore also a rookie. Like
Mm-hmm.
how many rookies do you want to have out there at day one? I mean, that's up to Glenn, but you have a guy like Stevens who's played safety before. I think it would be beneficial to have him even in that safety role if that makes sense. At least like day one,
Mm-hmm.
figure stuff out and then roll out their young bucks as the season goes on, and especially see how the season goes on. Are we winning games?
Yeah.
Where are we? Are we by like trade deadline, especially? Like, are we at a point where all right, we just want to see how the young bucks do, or are we like, oh no, actually we have a shot? So I think
Yeah.
those are going to be the types of decisions we see as the season goes on.
Yeah. Speaking of the trade deadline, there was some stuff swirling around that if we're out of playoff contention, the Jets are gonna try to trade Brees Hall. I even had one of my boys text me on the side this week asking, "Y'all gonna trade Brees Hall if y'all are losing?" I simply responded, "No." But how do you
Oh,
feel?
really?
Yeah, I did. I did.
No, honestly, I think it's logical.
Yeah, yeah,
Well, he's on the last year of his contract.
yeah,
If we are like same old Jets about to go 4 to 5 wins, I don't really see why you would resign him.
yeah,
You're gonna give him a big contract, knowing that like at that point we're admitting that we have a lot of holes that we don't exactly know how we're gonna fill at that point.
yeah.
If there's value for him, unless like the value is like, hey, we'll give you a day 3 pick, then like
No,
no, but like you can get a second or third back on trade deadline. I think the conversation definitely should be had because
mm-hmm.
like there has to be a decision on like what are you going to do, because I don't think you're going to be able to sign extensions to Sauce, Garrett, JJ, and Brees, like all of them in the next year, let me say.
Yeah,
So I do think they're going to have to make some tougher decisions. I think you can try it if the team is working out as is, but if the team isn't, it's hard to re-sign them and then say, oh, well, we still have a lot of holes to fill.
yeah, yeah, and yeah. To your point, like it is logical, right? To me, I think about what Brees had just came out and revealed what Aaron Glenn said to him when the trade rumors were flying around in this offseason, right? So it sounds like Aaron Glenn really, really likes Brees and really wants to, make him like the guy in the backfield. And he but I guess it just depends on how effective, I guess Isaiah Davis,
Yeah, and you also got Braylon Allen,
yeah,
and you also got Donovan Edwards now. So
yeah,
it's a crowded backfield,
yeah,
And granted, obviously a lot of that's all projections, but then again, even with Brees, it's all really just projection. So I guess you have to ask yourself, is he that much better than the other guys you have on the roster?
mm-hmm.
Because that's what he's going to be asking for in terms of contract, at least. Like I
Yeah,
don't think he's resigning for $5 to $8 million. I think he's going to want $10+ million.
Yeah.
But he to date hasn't performed at a $10+ million. But granted, we know we could always say, oh, he doesn't get enough carries. But
Yeah.
the question has always been, even if he does get the carries, is he at that type of level?
Right.
I think that's what we're hoping to see, especially before the trade deadline, in my opinion.
Yeah. And I mean, because he hasn't he's done enough, but he hasn't done like over the top to get that, lucrative running back contract. Like it's not like he's out here playing like, Giants Saquon Barkley, right?
Yep.
So I guess in that sense, we have a little more leeway as far as, hey, even if he does have a great season, right? It's like, okay, when we average out everything, this is what we see. So,
Yeah.
depending on, if he has a bad or a down year, which I don't think he will have a down year with a healthy Justin Fields and an improved O line. I don't think he has a down year, but if he does have a better year, we can kind of negotiate as far as just like, hey, we've got these guys to pay, but we want you to be around and go from there. But yeah, I think Aaron Glenn likes the idea of having Brees and Braylon back there, especially coming from that Montgomery Gibbs tree. So yeah, man, it'll be interesting to kind of see. Hopefully by the trade deadline, we're rolling.
Yeah, at least we just gotta be in a decent spot,
We just gotta
Like
be in a decent
I think
spot.
it's all what it comes down to, because I will say I do believe a running back is a luxury in this league.
Yeah, yeah,
You don't necessarily need one to get there, but like it could put you over the top though if you do
Mhm.
have a good running back core. And we've
Absolutely.
seen that with the Lions, we've seen that with the Eagles. Like
Yeah.
great running backs can elevate your squad.
Hmm.
But like you don't necessarily need them just to become good. I think that's really where that line's gonna really hit, where it's like, how do we feel? I will say though, Glenn does run the show. So to your point, I think it's gonna come down to Glenn and how he feels about the situation.
Hmm.
I don't even think it's gonna be a Moogie's situation where Moogie says, "Oh, I don't want Brees," but Glenn's like,
Yep.
"Oh, but I want him." I do think Glenn's gonna make that final call, and he's gonna be very upfront about it. But I think we still have a lot of time. Like, I think the hard part is too, Glenn hasn't seen Brees really directly in action too much. I mean, I'm sure he's
Yeah.
watched some tape, but like, did he watch all the tape yet? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
how is he going to feel? Like, and it's also like, how is he going to see it in this new offense and
Hmm.
everything? It is a lot of things that we have to see before we kind of jump the gun and say, oh, he's definitely going to be traded or definitely won't be traded.
Right. Right.
Um,
Right.
but I'll say overall, it's trending towards not, unless we do just crap the bed.
Yeah. Yeah. Like if it's bad, bad, but
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like I have a slightly optimistic feeling about the Jets. The more that I see the team gel, I had told my Alexa to every day at 12:08. She tells me, "Please God, let the New York Jets get it together." So it's a prayer that goes in on a schedule every day, dedicated to this team. All right, so you know, yeah, man. No big injuries this year. Nothing crazy. Everybody stays healthy. I think we can. Then we can make some noise. Harrison Mevis better not be out here missing kicks week 1. Because you remember that kicker we had, Kyer Voot,
Yep.
Voot?
Yep. Yep.
Man, he was
Yep.
he was a
Yep.
dog wherever he came from, and then when he came to us,
Yeah.
he missed like 4 field goals in the game.
Yeah. First game, and then we had to cut him right after.
Yeah, I think that was the Bills game when CJ got hurt,
It might have been. I just remember
and so we
first
lost.
game, came
Yeah,
here, missed every field goal and extra point that game, and then
bro.
got cut right after. And I was like, well, that was time.
It was like he was drilling 55 plus yarders for the Vikings in preseason. And he comes to us and he's
Yeah.
missing every kick. So yeah, like that's our type of luck. But hopefully, Mevis kind of locks in, and I mean, I don't know.
I think a lot of this season lies on this offensive line. Like
Yeah.
I do think, and I'm not only banking on it, but I'm sure Glenn's banking on it.
Hmm.
And we don't necessarily have the best offensive line in football, but like I think we're banking on having a top 10 offensive line.
Yeah.
Granted, we still don't like. I know there's a whole tip and snap issues again, but even with that, you have Olu first rounder, ABT first rounder, Tip even if he plays left guard first rounder, and then now you have Membu thrown in there. That's 4 first rounders. That's definitely enough talent to go in. Oh goodness, was that lightning? I'm sorry, but I'm sure you. That was full
Yeah, I just heard that.
It was just mad close. I saw the light. I was like,
Yeah,
goodness.
I just
But
heard that.
yeah, it was goodness gracious. But I'm sorry about that. But yeah, I think we have more than enough talent to have at least the top 15 offensive line. And I think that's really going to set the tone if we do, especially, moving guys in the run game. But I think that's one part of it. And the other part is Justin Fields doesn't have to have the best arm, but just good enough to where teams don't just stack everyone in the box and basically, like we dare you to throw it, basically.
Yeah.
Granted, that's why we have a guy like Garrett. And that's also why we got a guy like Smith, just so it's like we hope you guys do try that. Please stack the box because we're gonna have Smith just do a go route and he's gonna be wide open because you're not gonna match anyone one-on-one with him with his speed.
Yeah.
And then you're not gonna guard someone one-on-one with Garrett either. So it's double trouble.
Yeah.
Double trouble.
It's like we need those other guys to step up and make it easier on everybody else, man. Because Woody made a post, and I think we both agreed that Corley is one of the guys with a lot of pressure on him this year. And sometimes, like, I forget that we have him.
Yeah,
I forget that we have him on the roster. So it's like, it's hard to kind of count out the other weapons, but it's like we have the guys on the roster.
Yeah, talent's there. That's the hard part with this team. It's like the talent, and that's how I felt last year. It's like the talent's there. It's just a matter of it coming together. And also, like, I think Inkstrain, I think he's gonna play a really big part too, especially when we're talking about, like, I know I just talked about like Fields making those throws, but it's also like if Fields isn't making throws, what are you scheming to make the defense kind of stay on their toes a little bit?
Yeah.
I think that happens with end around sweeps and you can get creative where you're not necessarily throwing the ball, but you're still running in an effective manner. And it's not just this, like, I felt like with our past few offenses, it's like you can tell when we're about to run the ball. It's like we're in that formation, like we're in that, like everybody's on the line, quarterback under center, full back, running back. You don't know which way it's coming, but they're running the ball.
Yeah. And we could tell that as we were watching it. We're like, oh, we're about to run the ball, about to run it. But now I feel like with Fields, it's like, okay, now we can hike, play action, roll out. Are we passing? No, he's running. It's gonna be so much more options. I was actually watching Jaden Daniels tape randomly, like the other day. And I was like, like a lot of these plays Jaden Daniels was doing, you could tell it was kind of just like off script, right?
Yeah.
And like he was able to just extend drives with his legs, something that we haven't really had. And I always go back to that point, like Justin Fields is not a quarterback like we've had before. I mean, yeah, we've had Michael Vick, but we've had Geno Smith, but they weren't effective of runners at quarterback at the time they were here. So it's going to be exciting to see that.
Yeah, and I'm really excited to just see a scheme at least built around Justin's skill set.
Yeah,
I feel like Justin's always kind of just gotten a scheme that was built for somebody else that they just kind of threw on him.
Yeah.
So I want to see a scheme that's actually built for, because like I thought the scheme that Kingsbury had for Jaden Daniels was great. Like I felt like it really utilized what he's good at, and I think we need to take a little bit of that and do that with Fields, which is we know Fields can run the ball. He has great speed. He has an arm, so it's not like you have a guy that's like, oh, he could run the ball, but like I don't know about throwing. Like he has an arm.
For sure.
Is it as consistent as you want it to be? Maybe not, but like I think you can scheme around that, to be honest.
Yeah, you can absolutely scheme around it. And the worst case scenario is, the team is playing okay. We're winning games we're supposed to win early in the season, but you can tell it's like a little lack of, burst. Maybe in like the receiver room, we make that trade for like an Olave or like somebody else just to like upgrade the offense at a time where we're average and just need that next step really quick. So, hey, never say never, man.
Yeah, there's a lot of options we could still do.
Yeah.
I'm sure we're gonna just wait it out, see how the soft season goes, see how like the first couple games go, especially.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, man, who do we play first?
And the season, the Steelers.
No, I mean like the first couple games. It's like
First,
Steelers.
I,
Steelers, Bills, Bucks, and Dolphins. It's a rough start, so it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting to make decisions, but like honestly, it could be worse. It really could.
Yeah.
Like it's not like we're playing the Chiefs, Ravens. Like I'd be like, damn, bro, like you
Yeah.
don't learn anything from that. Like
right.
you can learn something out of it just because, like I think outside of the Bills, you have a lot of good but not like super teams.
Yeah.
Like Steelers, Bucks, Dolphins, like those are the hovering around 8 and 9, 9 to 8 type of teams. So, I think that'll definitely tell you how close you are, especially like, can you come away with 2 of those at least?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Right.
I think we got to come away with at least 2 by week 4 if we want to be competitive.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I think, I think we can sneak one versus the Bills. The Bills kind of always catch fire towards the end of the season to me, like mid to end. They always start off kind of shaky. I think last year, I remember early in the season, they were like in a nail biter with the Cardinals. So yeah, we could definitely sneak one against them early in the season. I mean, shoot, we beat them early in the season last time. We had them week 1. So the Bills always take a few weeks to kind of like get into their rhythm. So I'm glad that we play them early. And the Dolphins, I feel like by week 4, man, week 4 Monday night in Miami, I think right now they're like a dumpster fire right now, man. Like
I was gonna say I feel pretty confident about the Steelers and the Dolphins, which I think those are the 2 we need the most.
Yeah.
Because if we were genuinely like fighting for playoffs at the end of it, like those are the teams that you're fighting against for that playoff spot.
Right.
Like win or lose to the Bills, I'm not saying like I don't really care, but like I don't really learn. Oh well, like I will say like we beat the Steelers, Dolphins, and the Bills. I feel great about the team.
Yeah.
I feel very great about the team. Like
Yeah.
we win 3 out of those 4 games. I feel really great about the team.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter which 3.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I want to see the Steelers and Dolphins. Like those are the 2 that I really want to see them. I want to see them win those. It's hard to see us lose those and feeling good about playoffs come end of the year.
Yeah, no, I agree. 2 out of those first 4 will set the precedent for the seasons for sure. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Or at least 3 out of the first 6, I would say.
Yeah, 3 out of the
because
first.
then you go Dolphins, Broncos. Dolphins, like Cowboys, Broncos. Like and it's just like last year too. It's like Steelers, Dolphins, Broncos. Those are all teams that are going to be, you're fighting for in that wild card spot.
Yeah, wild card. Yeah.
The beginning of our season is going to tell a lot about how the season goes down. To be honest.
Yeah, about the whole, because that second row is really no real.
Yeah, like the Bengals maybe just because they're in a hard division, but like
yeah,
I do see them kind of stepping up. Although it's hard to know because their defense is kind of going through a lot of stuff right now.
Yeah.
Like, their players not even showing up at this point. But but offense, you got Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow. It's enough to just feel like, all right, they're probably gonna get like 5th to 6th seed this year.
Yeah.
Panthers, I learned nothing from. Browns, I don't feel like I learned anything from unless Shador becomes like a super ninja.
Yeah.
Ravens, I think they're gonna have the division anyways. And then Pats, I don't see them really even competing, but who knows, I guess.
Yeah, who knows with them, Can never count those cheaters out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
we got Vrabel. Although I think I'm not gonna lie. Granted, I'll admit I'm wrong. but I've hated all the moves that the Pats have done this offseason. Like
Yeah.
they've done exactly what like I typically hate the Jets do, which is just spend a bunch of money in free agency on mid-level talent.
Yeah, no, for sure. And yeah, Steve, BTA week 1. We
Oh
we
yeah,
have to hand it out. You know, that's gonna be the tone setter for the season, bro. That's gonna be the tone setter.
I want them to make him retire, bro. Not like make him retire like as in injured, but retire as in like just mentally clock out.
Yeah, man. That's what it's got to say. I mean, the last time they just played Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay, we kind of owned him. So
now he won that one.
No. The last time Aaron Rodgers was in Green Bay.
Oh, no. That wasn't in Green. Was that in Green Bay?
Yeah, with that was Brees's.
Yeah. Because Sauce at the Cheesehead. Yeah.
Cheesehead. Yeah.
I forgot about that one.
Yeah, that was a good game. I remember watching that game like, okay, we can make the playoffs.
Yeah.
And then you know what happened. But that was an interesting season too. Interesting.
Oh man, that was the whole season that made me like get hope for like
for everything.
Weren't
we like 6-4?
Yeah, like and like to begin the season, Zach didn't look so bad. Or was that the Joe Flacco season?
It may have been.
I think that was the Joe Flacco season. Yeah, I think
with the Browns, with the Browns comeback.
Yeah. I will say that was like the season where I was like, wow, Garrett's that dude, Sauce is that dude.
That guy.
JJ wasn't that dude yet, but like JFM, Bryce Huff, like everybody was just Quinnen was going crazy.
Yeah, Quinnen was
just that was a year, man.
That was when Quincy popped on the scene.
Yeah.
So yeah.
We had our defense was looking solid.
Yeah.
Especially DJ Reed. He was a dude too.
Yeah. DJ Reed was
so I'll say like our defense was there, and like we did literally look like we were a quarterback away. Although I will say we always said that, but like I always said it was quarterback and offensive line. Our offensive line was horrible.
We had a bad offensive line. We definitely did.
Our offensive line was horrible, especially when AVT got hurt.
Yeah, we still had Elijah Moore that season too. So like everything.
But I couldn't live with Elijah Moore. It was really just our offensive line was terrible.
It was Elijah Moore. We still had Michael Carter, Corey Davis. We had Brees. We had Garrett. Like that was.
Brees got hurt though.
Yeah, Brees did get hurt. So I think after that, that's when things kind of went.
No, seriously.
That's
honestly like I genuinely do think like if Brees doesn't get hurt, that whole year is different.
Yeah, the whole year is different, and Brees probably wins Rookie of the Year, not Garrett. But
maybe, because he was on track. He was going crazy.
He was gonna win it that year.
He was going crazy, especially with that crappy O line.
Yeah, which is crazy. But yeah, Steve, Mevis is winning that kicker job, man.
The kicker.
Yeah, Harrison Mevis, man. He's winning that job. He's bringing that aura to MetLife. I hope he's been thinking of a good Selly. After he makes his kick. So I hope he chooses a good number. 92. I don't know if I like that, but he was number 18 in the UFL, I believe. So hopefully he picks a swaggy number, man. This guy. Yeah. That's our guy. That's our guy, Steve. That's him right there. But yeah. I hope we it's gonna be interesting to watch, to see for sure.
Yeah, I'm excited. I think I'm excited to see how the season goes.
Yeah,
man. I don't need them to be like I feel like I don't have too unrealistic expectations.
Yeah.
I just want to be able to watch till January. That's all I want. Like let me be able to watch till January and still feel like, oh, we're not out of it already.
Yeah, that's what that's all I want for Christmas, man.
At least be like an 8th to 9th seed team and just miss the playoffs, something like that. I feel a little bit better about that than just.
I feel a little bit better, bro. Yeah, I feel a little bit better. But before we sign out tonight, if there's any Love Island viewers and you want to drop any questions and comments, we got like We got like 2, 3. You got like 2, 3 minutes. If y'all want to drop any hot takes on Love Island, me and my dog been watching it. No shame, but it's it's a trending topic right now. So if y'all watch Love Island, I don't know. Go ahead, tap in, ask us a few questions about it.
Bro, I've been seeing so many memes when you watching Love Island instead of the NBA finals. I'm like, man.
I'm saying. So me personally, I've been like if Love Island is on the night of the finals, I'll watch the game. But it's like as I'm watching the game, I'm like, I can't wait till this joint over so I can put on so I can throw on Love Island real quick, man.
I refuse to watch the game as a Knicks fan, but
I know you don't.
Actually, I might watch tomorrow. I just might watch.
I bet
just to see the Pacers lose.
Hallie's hurt now, so it's pretty much over.
Honestly, that doesn't really make me happy. Yeah. I wanted him to be healthy, so he doesn't have any excuses. Like, to me, that's a way out. Like, yeah. I don't like that. Like, you better play. You play and get your ass open like a man. Take it like a man, bro. Bend over.
Man, that's crazy, man. I wish he was healthy. I hope that other people on the team can kind of step up because they have people who can.
They have been. He wasn't even in the last game, basically.
Yeah, like they literally have people who can score in his place. They just have to mentally get there.
They actually might even be better without him, to be honest.
They might as well have McConnell come in there and do his thing.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. TJ, he's a dog, man. I hate him in a good way. I hate anytime he came in the next game, I'm like, oh my gosh, here's this dude, bro. But I will say he's a bucket.
Who? Yeah, TJ
McConnell. Yeah, he come in with that little floater, bro. That shit used to piss me off.
That little mid-range jumper.
Yeah, that shit pissed me off, bro. Like, it's like one of those it's a respect hate.
I respect hate.
Yeah. Someone said, "What's up with all the Brees getting traded?" We just talked about that not too long ago.
Yeah, we just did. So I mean, we don't. I don't think he's getting traded. Even, I mean, if it's looking terrible, then that might be an option. But, bro, no, I don't think he's getting traded, bro. I think Glenn likes Brees. I think he wants Brees to be a part of the offense. So, we'll hang on as long as we can.
Yeah, honestly, I think it's noise though. I don't think there's any factual thing to bring. I think that's more of opinion than factual because I don't even think the Jets would know that answer yet. Not until they saw a few games of him playing behind this upgraded offensive line. I would say.
Yeah, very upgraded. Very upgraded. So, upgraded offensive line, upgraded mobile quarterback. He definitely doesn't get traded.
Team and everything. I think you at least want to see him, and you have him here. You didn't trade him before the draft. I think you definitely want to see him play first, and then kind of make your decision from there. If it is oh wow, we really don't like the fit or whatever it is, then you kind of have those conversations as you gear towards the trade deadline.
Yeah. So. I definitely don't think he gets traded before the season, though. That's
definitely not.
Yeah, that's out of the question. But
weird.
But yeah, all in all, we hope that we have a good season. We have a new kicker. We're bringing some new aura into the building, so it's good to it's definitely good to feel that. But yeah, I mean, it's been a slow week. Appreciate everybody locking in and locking on the podcast this week. Any final words, Alan? How you feeling, man?
Oh man, I'm feeling good.
Yeah.
Ah man, I'm just waiting for things to kick back up.
Yeah.
Especially with the June slump. I'm gonna call it the June slump. I'm waiting for that July pick me up. I want to see some training camp highlights. I want to see the pads on. That's really what I want to see.
Yeah, I'm ready for that joint practice. Ready for that joint practice. Joint practice with the Giants or whoever.
Oh yeah, with the Giants too. Yeah. Preseason game. Yeah. So I don't know. Well, we got some time. until then. But for now, I'm gonna stay positive.
Yeah, me too. That's all we can do right now as fans, man. They always get us, at this point of the all season, but it's cool to be positive. It's cool to be positive, but yeah, next week we're gonna lock in again. Hopefully we have some more news. Maybe we'll come up with like a little game or something. Next week we'll think of something to kind of get together. But yeah, until then, y'all be easy, man. Appreciate y'all locking in with us.
Appreciate y'all.